This is a quick, hopefully, review of the planner pad that I just got last Saturday. It's now Tuesday. I got the 2014 because it's already more than halfway through the year. We're in September and it was on clearance at their website. You have to order these specifically through plannerpads.com, I believe. You'll see some other stuff in here that isn't theirs, and I will do a separate post for that. So you open it up, and this is the executive size, so it's a little bit big. It's 8.5 by 11, and this is the January through December 2014. Any tabs you see, those are stuff that I've put in, including this pocket. This is not the one that they sell. I'll go over that in a different time. So the weekly layout looks like this, and it has a list of activities by categories. You choose the categories. Categories can change per week. So far I've used this for basically a week and a half, because I retroactively did last week's stuff to see a feel for it. You list the activities for the categories, and then you take all that and you filter it down to here, the things to do each day. And then at the bottom you have your appointments, where you can schedule appointments with other people, appointments with your computer, whatever tickles your fancy. What I should show you is the beginning of each month. There is, that's February's, I did a scribble test, I'll come back to that. There's a big blank calendar and a nice page for notes for that month. Since we're here, I will do this quick little bleed test. Prior, I was really liking using the Bic Market pens because they're bright and vibrant and I can read even if I put color on top of color. However, they don't work for in the planner pad because they do bleed through. So I did a bleed test holding the pen on the paper for up to 10 seconds, and it does bleed. So I won't be using those for this. Instead, I found these awesome pens that are highly recommended by other people, the friction clickers, and they are great because you can write, it doesn't bleed through, and you can take it and erase it. Without too much effort. So depending on how hard you push, you can see a little bit of where I wrote, but all in all you can write over it and it's fine. The other awesome thing is if you have writing and you color code and then you highlight it and you decide, oops, wrote the wrong thing in the wrong section or used the wrong highlighter. If you have a regular highlighter, you can't erase it. However, you can't erase the highlighter. You can erase the pen, which I think is really cool. So then you can write in what you want. You can also write on top of highlighter, and after it dries a second, it does take a second for it to dry, you can then erase that off the top of there also. So let's go to this month. I filled in important things. Right now I like stickers. We'll see how long that lasts. If you see sticky notes on things, that's just me covering things for confidentiality. So I had, these were the categories that I did retroactively for the prior week, just so I could put in what activities I did and then what days I did them. It was a little tricky to figure out. I started doing like work email, personal email, and was like, oh, that takes up way too much space. And then I did this, and that took up too much space. And then I'm now doing checkboxes with initials next to them of what they're for. And then, I take some supplements, so I do a checklist on that so I don't forget. And the bottom, I can put stuff in. Saturday wasn't too fun, had a migraine. This is this week. So, disclaimer, this did not come with it. I have all my categories, have stuff. As something comes up and I have to do it, I put it in whatever category it belongs to, and I also put it on what day I did it, and then depending, if I finish it, I check it off. And I am color coding things right now. I don't know how long that'll last. For phone calls, what I've been doing so far is I put them on a bright sticky note so I don't forget them. And I also write it underneath so that when I'm done I can throw away the sticky note. And I figured out over here where it says notes and calls, I can just put their name and their phone number so that I don't have to try and squeeze it all in on these small spaces. It is kind of small, so if you have big writing, this might not be a good choice for you. So now I'm doing email this way with like boxes. It does take a little bit to write them out, but it's really not that big of a deal. And I like doing the location that I'm at or where I have to do the work, do a long arrow until the end of the time, and then I can schedule the appointments to the right of that. I'm just crossing out things if they're canceled. So far, so good. If I come across stuff which I know I need to do next week, I'm pre-putting it in the category for next week. There are some things that won't change, like check your email. There are some days I hate using the computer, so I have to remind myself, yes, you actually do need to check your email. And next month's. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah. And I will post another thing about the extras that I added in to help make it a little bit more user-friendly for me. And that is my planner pad review.